I'm literally dying. Hi guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. I'm out of breath, sorry. I'm doing HIIT right now, but I forgot to film an intro and an outro for this video. So welcome to this video. It's going to be a leg / glute day. And I'm working really hard to make new videos for you guys. It's just my content when I shoot it definitely doesn't come out sometimes how I want it to, so then it's like, scrap it, let's try again, scrap it, let's try again. So I'm working on it. But yeah, this is a leg / glute day for you guys, and I got super sweaty, super fast. My glutes were sore for about 3 whole days off of this workout, so I think it works. I remember just a couple tips for the video. Just remember to take your own pace, go at your own time, slow down, drop the weight, really focus on straight back and not going as heavy as you can if you're not totally feeling the motions and the movement. Yeah, that was a lot, sorry. I'm like super out of breath. I just finished like 3 HIIT rounds, I'm crazy. But yeah, so this is a leg glute day. Try your best. Remember, this is for you. So don't think about anybody else. Try not to get distracted through this workout and kill it, because I know you're going to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So for my first exercise, I started with up and over leg rotations. This is a great way to activate your glutes, and you feel it all over. Like in every aspect of your glute, you're gonna feel this. So I do up and over to one side and then up and over to the other side, and that equals 1 on each side. And I do 20 on each leg, and I do these for 3 whole sets. For my next glute activation exercise, I am doing banded fire hydrants. Now these are really good to hit the side booty. I feel like the side booty is one of the hardest muscles for a lot of people. They're like, I never feel it there, or it's never activated enough. So I love these fire hydrants for that. And I add the band for extra resistance, so it can be a little bit harder. I do 10 on the right leg, 10 on the left leg, and that equals 1 set. And I do 3 whole sets of these. For my third glute activation exercise, I'm just doing banded donkey kicks. I think you guys may have seen these before. These are such a staple because they work every time. They never let me down. If you're looking for something to keep in your little cubby, this is one of the workouts I'd recommend. You can do it with or without the band, and it feels just as good. If you do it without the band, I'd recommend doing more reps if you want to feel the more intense burn that you feel with the band. I do a 10 on the right leg, 10 on the left leg, and that equals 1 set, and I do these 3 times. For my last activation exercise, I'm doing banded glute bridges. These, I always feel the burn within the first set, so these are always a staple of mine. You want to focus on not arching your back. Keeping your back straight is definitely going to be one of the main components of this, but also driving your knees forward. Driving your knees forward, just thinking of that every time you go up for a bridge is going to help you feel the burn in your glutes and not in your hamstrings or your quads. I add the band for extra resistance and make it just a little bit harder. I do 15 reps, and that equals 1 set, and I do 3 sets of these. Moving on to the first exercise, I am doing a compound, like superset kind of movement. So I am under a plate. You can use whatever kind of pound plate you want. The plate pound doesn't really matter because you're just using it for standing, like extra leverage. So my heel is placed on the plate, and what I'm doing is a straight-legged deadlift with a 20-pound dumbbell in my hand, and then I'm going down into a squat. So my feet are turned out because the squat is closer in, and I want to still make sure I'm targeting my glutes. I do the straight-legged deadlift and then the squat, and that equals 1 whole movement. I did 10 to 12 of these, and I did the exercise 3 whole sets. This exercise is the cable pull through. So I love the cable pull through because I feel it so well in my under booty. If you're trying to target that under booty and get a nice lifted glute, this is a perfect exercise for that. I change my weight each time when I do these. It gets heavier and heavier as I progress and as I really get the movements down. I'd say start with lightweight until you really get the movements down. When I first started these, I felt it a lot in my back because I was pulling from the wrong places. So I had to lower my weight. But once I got used to it, and it took me a couple of weeks to kind of get used to it, I was able to feel it totally in my glutes and I moved up to higher weight. So what you want to do is fully stretch your back in a 90-degree angle. Make sure you're pulling in and feeling your glutes. Make sure your stance is wide, because if your stance is closer together, you're going to feel your hamstrings, not your glutes. So wide stance, 90-degree angle in the back, and really hinge forward in your hips and makes you feel you like release the cable all the way through and then pull it and squeeze your glutes as you come up. I do 3 sets of 15 for these. Moving on to our next exercise, which I hope you're sweating by now, like tons. We are going to do Smith machine glute bridges with a band. Now, I'm not the most familiar with the Smith machine when I started working out in this little community gym, but it's become a staple in my workout. I love using the Smith machine now. And I think it's a really great way if you're not totally confident with barbells or just air weight. Go ahead and try the Smith machine and it'll do wonders for you, I promise. So I use the hardest band around the top of my thighs, and then I'm using the Smith machine. I start my body at a 90-degree angle, and what you're going to do is just go down for a glute bridge and make sure when you come up, you're driving your knees all the way forward. And for these, I excel in weight each set. So maybe the first set, I'll start at 30 pounds on each side, and then I'll go up to 40 and then 50 and so on. I do 4 sets of 12, and then I superset it with hip abductions. So the band is still around the top of my thighs, and what I do is just bring my legs in and out, in and out, in and out, making sure I'm squeezing when I'm pushing out to really activate that glute and get it super fired up after doing the bridges. Moving off of the Smith machine, I am doing reverse lunges. And oh boy, you think these are easy and they're super lightweight and they're not a stressor, you're just moving through the motions. Wrong. After I do glute bridges, these kill my quads. My butt's already on fire from the bridges, and then I do these in my quads. I can't feel them. So basically what I do is I have a lightweight in my hand just because I really want to focus on the legs, the quads. I don't want to add too much heavy weight to where I feel like I'm dipping to each side as I'm doing the movements. So I do 10 lunges backwards on my right leg and then 10 lunges backwards on my left leg, and that equals 1 set. I do 3 to 4 sets of these depending on how tired my quads are after each set, and these burn, guys. For the last dumbbell exercise, I'm doing wide stance deadlifts. So these are so good for the glutes. You feel it really in that under booty as well. I'm holding 15-pound dumbbells in each hand, and I do these exercises 3 sets or 4 sets, depending on how heavy the dumbbells are, with 12 reps in each set. I love the wide stance because that's how you target the glutes. Closer stance is going to target your hamstrings, and the wide stance is going to target your glutes. Make sure you go down and that your back is straight when you come down. Your hips are hinged, and your knees are a little bit bent. The more straight your legs are, the harder it's going to target your hamstrings, even though your legs are wide stance. So just make sure you have a bend in your knee and your back is straight. I come fully up and squeeze at the top and then go right back down again. And again, I do 12 reps in each set, and I do about 3 to 4 sets. So for my last exercise, I am on the leg press machine, and I'm doing single-legged leg presses. These are so good for the glutes. One thing I will note is you have to play around with heel placement. Make sure your heel isn't too far forward or too far back to where you're not going to feel it in your glutes. And I always make sure it's pretty high up on the pressing platform. And the point of this exercise is when you're sideways, you're going to be able to target your glutes. I know if you just sit on it and you just have one leg pressed to it, you can only feel it in your quads, or at least in my experience, that's how it goes. So I get on it sideways and I make sure my heel is lined up. So when I press my leg, I feel it directly on the top of my glute. And I do 10 on the right leg, and then I switch over and do 10 on the left leg. And I do this 3 sets. And these are a killer. Make sure you're not straightening your leg totally when you're pressing out. As you can notice, there is a slight hinge in my knees to make sure I am not locking in place anywhere. I feel the constant tension as I'm pressing each time. Okay guys, so hopefully you just died during that leg glute workout and your glutes are already feeling it and you're gonna be sore for the next 3 days and you're gonna love me for it and thank me for it later, hopefully. Again, I'm not a professional. These are just workouts that I do that I see make improvement in my body. Remember, it's always about you and your workouts. Make sure you're focusing and making smart choices while you're in the gym, not lifting too heavy, even if you can't go, if you think you can go heavier, making sure your back is straight, all those good things. I hope you guys liked this video. Remember to comment down below any questions or extra videos or questions that you have for me. My links are gonna be in the description and I'll see you guys in my next workout video. Bye.